enough is enough. I have seen it just so many times with brand new sellers. They make this one mistake. They assume X, and it is really Y. You do not want to miss out on this. Stay tuned because this is going to be a good one. What is going on, guys? Welcome back. If you do not know who I am already, my name is Rhett Taylor. I've been selling on Amazon for a handful of years now, and I've had a ton of fun doing it, but I've also continued to do it, but I've also, found an incredible amount of joy and fulfillment being able to help people just starting out and wanting to start their own Amazon business. And the fact is, I've seen this happen so many times when it comes to beginners, and they just assume that they can do this, and that's not necessarily the case. I'm going to break this down exactly for you here in a real quick second. I don't want to make this a super long video, but if you are new here, why don't you just hit that subscribe button? I know what you're thinking. You might be like, man, Rhett, I don't know if I want to make that commitment to you right now. I don't know if we're that close. And yeah, okay, I understand that. But of course, if you just have instant, buyer's remorse after you click subscribe, you can always unsubscribe if you don't like me. That's fine. Just give me a chance. There's a ton of amazing content that I'm pumping out to you for free all the time on this channel when it comes to Amazon FBA, when it comes to tactics about making money online, as well as the other pillar of wealth when it comes to the habits, the daily routines, the productive tips, the finance, the money side of things, and really combining those together so you can become the best entrepreneur and the most successful entrepreneur that you can be. So jumping straight into this, after you've already hit that like button so it's blue, subscribe and hit that bell, I want to cover exactly what the biggest mistake that I just keep seeing people make, and that comes down to launching and right as your product becomes live on Amazon. So, essentially what's going on is you ship your product in, it finally gets to Amazon, and it finally goes live. And I get questions all the time. They'll post in the Facebook group, FBA Nights. If you have not joined that already, make sure you do. I'm in there all the time, essentially helping people with these exact problems, and this is the reason I've made this video. So I'll link that down below. Make sure you join it. Free group, super fun, super great community. But they post and they're like, man, Rhett, okay, my product's live. What do I do? And I'm like, my first question always is, do you have a launch plan? And most of the time their response is, I don't know, what do you mean? I was just gonna, turn on some PPC and let her rip. And sure, let me get this straight. I'm not saying you cannot be successful doing that. Especially, you can certainly be successful doing that if you're in a lot less competitive of a niche. But if you're in a niche that has any really solid competition, you're going to blow through your budget and blow through a ton of money if you're just doing, quote, random PPC. But what I mean by random PPC is just your normal automatic broad and phrase exact match campaigns. Those kind of campaigns, just the normal stuff that you would run on a daily basis after your product is selling. If you do that in a even sort of competitive niche, you're gonna blow through your budget because once again, your product has 0 reviews. Your product is brand new. It is organically on page like 9. And so when you are gonna just start running ads, your 0 review product is gonna show up next to the people that have 3, 5, 700, and then even up to 1,000 reviews. And it's gonna be a no-brainer. Even if when people click on your product, they're gonna realize, oh, that person doesn't have any reviews. I don't really trust this product. I'm gonna go buy someone else's product. And essentially, at the end of the day, it's going to skyrocket your ACoS. It's gonna skyrocket your PPC costs. You're gonna blow a lot of money simply on just PPC because you didn't have a launch plan. And also the reason I wanted to make this video is when your product goes live, like I said, you can do that if you're in a less competitive niche, but in general, turning on the general, normal, random PPC is just gonna blow money for you. The biggest things you can do to start off is 1, of course, have a launch plan, but really 1, you need to get some reviews. You need to get 2 to 5 5-star reviews and be able to actually have some social proof on your listing. And you might be like asking, Rhett, how do I do that? Well, let's be real. I'm sure there's some people, at the end of the day, everyone does this, so I'm gonna be real with you guys. There's gotta be some people in your life that's not directly within your sphere of a family that can say, hey, I'd really love your product. I'm gonna buy your product and I'll leave you a review. That kind of a thing. Whether you want to refund them or not, that's up to you. But the idea is you can figure out how to get a couple reviews for your product to launch. And so next is actually having a launch plan. And I'm not going to go in this video to a full launch plan because at the end of the day, I've launched plenty of times before myself, and I've decided I hate launching. I don't like it. It's kind of irritating and it's kind of boring and tedious and stressful at times. I don't like it. So I don't do it. What I do is I hire it out and I hook up Zonbase and their page 1 launch. So I'm actually going to hop into my computer right now and essentially kind of just show you guys what they do, because they just absolutely crush it when it comes to this. But of course, if you guys want me to kind of talk a little bit more about doing it yourself video, let me know down in the comments. But at the end of the day, I'm all about doing your highest and best use, focusing on what is going to get the biggest and best result. And at the end of the day with Amazon, that is product research and finding new products to launch, not focusing on all the nitty gritty. And especially if you're a beginner, this is 100% the way to go, simply because they're going to do it for you and you can learn along the way. Ask as many questions as you like, and you're not going to feel that stress of like, oh gosh, you know, this is a big deal. This is my first or second product, and I don't want to screw it up, and your head's going crazy, and you put all this stress on you, and then you start stress eating all these cheeseburgers, gain 30 pounds, and you're like, oh man, my product failed, and I gained 30 pounds. This is the worst. I could have just hired Zonbase and had them help me out. But in all seriousness, guys, but what we can do is just come to Zonbase here, and page 1 is right here. And the coolest thing is they handle it for you. With this program here, we can go down to pricing, and essentially you get your own launch coach. This is not, you know, done by software. This is done by real people. So you get a personal launch coach, and they actually work with you to launch your product. And, you know, what I suggest, of course, is the most popular plan here. I forget what it's called. I don't know, it's just the middle one, where you get the PPC, the ongoing PPC, and the launch. So essentially what they do is they will optimize your listing for you. So they will build your listing out all for you. They will put together a launch plan and launch for you, whether it is through very targeted high bid, high budget PPC, or they will actually handle completely all the giveaways for you, where they, yes, all this is, you know, Amazon code, you know, up to code, and so that's nothing you have to worry about whatsoever. And then with this specific plan, after they've launched you, they will actually manage your PPC for 30 days, which is just killer, because they do your listing, they get you to page 1, and then they manage that PPC so you stay on page 1 and keep on selling. And once again, like we've talked about on this channel before, Amazon is like a big snowball. You gotta kick that bitch down the hall and just get that thing going. And this is the kick. This is the kicking that thing down the hall. And once that ball starts rolling, it starts really rolling. Gravity takes over, momentum takes over, and you're just, you know, finding your way to the next beach kind of a deal. You know, really what I suggest when it comes to launch, because it's going to take a lot of stress off, allow you to focus on the best things for your business that's going to have the biggest explosive growth. And at the same time, you'll be like, oh my gosh, $500, Rhett. That's kind of expensive. Well, do not worry. As usual, your boy has 50% off code down below, NIGHT50, that gets you that for $250 instead. And that is a hell of a deal if you ask me. $250 for them to optimize your listing, put together a launch plan, execute that launch plan, and manage your PPC for 30 days, taking all stress off you, and you're able to learn throughout along the process. So guys, that is one of the biggest things. Please take heed of this and really understand that this is really the best way to go when it comes to launching, so you can focus on the biggest and best things in your business and be able to have the best results when it comes to launch, because you put in all that effort and you don't want it to be in vain because you launched terribly. So my friends, I hope this answered your question. If you haven't already, join the FBA Nights Facebook group down below, and I will see you next time.